Welcome to the Business of Travel, the official podcast of the Global Business Travel Association. I'm Debbie Iannaci, Head of Global Communications, Public Relations and Research for GBTA, and I'll be your host for today's episode. Today I'm here talking to Garris Hand, Vice President, Global ESG for Hilton. Welcome, Jean.
Thank you so much, Debbie. Great to be with you.
Great. Well, here at the GBTA Convention, we're talking a lot about sustainability, and the industry's talking a lot on the topic as well. So this is very, very timely conversation, but one that won't just be for today. We're really at the beginning of the journey for the industry. So give us a bit of an idea of how you're looking at how sustainability is shaping business travel.
Absolutely, Debbie. Well, more than ever, guests are really looking at brands who are embracing purpose and doing their part in our local communities. Today, we're seeing a much higher demand for sustainable travel, for sustainable meetings, for carbon neutral meetings. We see that guests and customers want to have more sustainable travel programs, but oftentimes they don't know where to start or they don't know how to measure and report on that. And so we're here to help. We see that sustainable travel is becoming such an increasingly important consideration for travel planners as business travel continues to come back. And so as a response to this demand, back in 2009, Hilton established LightStay, which is our proprietary ESG management platform that tracks energy, water, waste, emissions, and social impact. Through LightStay, we're able to do the math and make it more easy for our customers so they don't have to.
Right. Well, that you touched on a really important topic because I think there is our industry's challenged with just figuring out, we know we want to do something about it, but how do we really understand first? And then how do we kind of move through it in a way that we're monitoring? When Hilton's corporate customers, what are some of the ways that you're seeing, tracking and monitoring the specific carbon footprint on that area?
Yeah, absolutely. Organizations all across the world are under increasing pressure to report with robust and accurate data today. And so using our LightStay tool, we're very well equipped to support our customers. Whether it's a carbon neutral meeting that they want to hold, we're able to quantify the energy, the water, the waste associated with that meeting and provide impactful reports to our customers through thoughtful choices that they make, where they can actually see the environmental footprint, make choices that lower the environmental footprint. We're able to provide that reporting and show that difference to our customers. We're also able to provide reporting about their travel programs, their transient nights, in addition to the meetings and events that I talked about. We have a Meet with Purpose offering with the three components, gather, nourish, and impact, that allows us to quantify through LightStay with data the gather portion that I mentioned, but also provide sustainable food selections for the nourish and donate, to local charities where that's allowed, the food that's left over. And then finally with impact, we can feel it here at GBTA, the energy of being in person and being together is just palpable. And that impact piece, the hotel will actually provide an impact activity or facilitate the coordination for that so that teams coming together again can leave the community in a better place than when because they were there.
Right. And what's so interesting and what kind of you covered there is my favorite word is impact, but also it's so much more than just the carbon footprint. It's really bringing it through an entire ecosystem and maximizing all the places along the way, which is really great. I love hearing about that. But it sounds like at Hilton, you're definitely looking at a holistic approach. So, and leading in the area of ESG and innovation. So tell me a little bit about that as well.
Well, Hilton was founded more than 100 years ago on the belief that hospitality has the power to be a force for good, and guided by our purpose and the commitment of our team members and our owners and our partners, we continue to lead the industry in developing and scaling solutions that reduce the environmental footprint and do enhance the social impact, your favorite word, in the communities where we serve. Dating back to 2018, we were the first in our industry to set science-based targets in alignment with the climate science at the time. But the climate science has evolved since then, and we're really proud to have recently reset our goals. We've raised the bar on our ambition, and we have now set a 75% emissions intensity reduction goal across our managed portfolio and a 56% emissions intensity reduction across our franchised portfolio. And that is a huge step in the right direction as we pave the way to a net zero future. Additionally, through these commitments and through our success in this area, Hilton was named to the world and the North American Dow Jones Sustainability Indices for the 5th year in a row, which is, we're very proud to be the only ones in our industry to achieve that designation. Additionally, in terms of waste reduction, we're really proud of the waste reduction, but also the innovation of our digital key, and encouraging guests to use a digital key instead of a plastic key. And it's a great example of how a small little change can make a big impact because, Debbie, believe it or not, to date, we have diverted 125 tons of waste from landfill just by guests choosing a digital key. And it's also an example of enhancing the guest experience because I don't know about you, but for me, when I first started using it, it's just nice to not fumble around in my purse looking for one more key.
Right. Absolutely. That's, it's those kind of moments, and it sounds like Hilton's really digging in to understand. And we say one small thing, but done at scale, makes an incredible difference. And you touched a bit on kind of your approach, but so many companies now are looking at their ESG framework. What does it really mean? And I know, having been in the industry for many years, our industry of business travel and travel in general, a lot of those frameworks were established, but now, like you said, they're being revisited. So what were some of the considerations and when you were looking at and updating your ESG framework at Hilton?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, dating back in 2018, when we initially launched our goals, the original goal was to halve our environmental footprint and double our social impact. And there were 23 sub-goals under that framework. And it was a little bit difficult for everyone to remember those 23 goals. So the aim in launching our new framework was really to make it more specific, memorable, and measurable. And so within our new ESG framework, our our environmental pillar has a big rock goal of paving the way to a net zero future with a focus on climate action and destination stewardship. And we do so with goals around watts, water, and waste. The watts goal is our new emissions target. Within our social impact area, our focus is on creating an engine of opportunity, something our CEO talks about a lot, with a focus on human rights and diversity, equity, and inclusion. And our goals are in enhancing careers, communities, and responsible conduct. So careers, communities, conduct. And then within our governance pillar, we are advancing and measuring our goals with a focus on transparency and integrity. And our goals and our actions are measured through our work in public affairs, policies and reporting, and our partnerships, because we can't do it alone.
Wow, that sounds like an amazing framework that gives you a lot to take a look at and map back to, but really kind of the times we're in now and maybe what's coming ahead. And as an industry, how and as Hilton has, how do we lead that advancement and move into those areas where ESG has just become a lot more part of the fabric of our industry.
Absolutely.
So everybody is talking about 2030 goals. And when I do the math, that's 8 years away. 8 years goes fast. So when you think about that, what are you looking at as the focus or priorities, not only at that 2030 point, but what comes after?
Really, when we think about the longer term, at Hilton for 100 years, we've been a business of people serving people. And as time goes on, that is our commitment. That will never change. So as always, we will continue to evolve. We'll continue to innovate to meet and exceed the needs of our guests. But regardless of the moment, that is our commitment over time, and really to be driven by our company founders' purpose to fill the world with the light and the warmth of hospitality. And so with that guiding our path, there's always a positive and a purposeful future for us to look forward to and to work hard towards.
Right. And I think that, again, you talked about purpose and impact, and that's a great, framework that'll serve well over the decades. And I know I'm personally moving to fully digital keys when I stay at Hilton the next time, because again, those moments are, when we think about moving sustainability through, we have to think how people are thinking, what they know, simplifying it. Kudos on the alliteration of understanding what, so having those messages be memorable and that people can really embrace and engage with them.
Thank you.
So it's been great, Jean, to have you here at the podcast booth at the GBTA Convention.
Thank you so much, Debbie. Such a pleasure to be with you.
You've been listening to The Business of Travel, the official podcast of the Global Business Travel Association. For more information about GBTA and its work, visit gbta.org. And be sure to rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, thanks for listening.